You're listening to Let's Grow Together podcast.
Forever I know we'll make it, we'll grow together. How you doing? Welcome to our podcast. My name is James Gilmore.
And my name is Lynette Gilmore.
So basically on this episode, we want to talk about our first years of marriage. April the 15th will be our second year anniversary. And so we just want to discuss things that we've learned so far in our marriage. Things that help us grow in our marriage throughout these 2 years. We still kind of newlyweds, so we still learning each other. And we just wanted to do this podcast so we can, other newlyweds out there that's really trying to make this thing called marriage work, make it happen for them.
Or make it successful.
Yeah, make it successful. So
I like that word.
Basically, even start with the wedding, we had things with the family, people want this for the wedding, people want that for the wedding. So that's one aspect, you're dealing with family, the in-laws, how that go. But in the end, it's all about you and your, the person you want to marry, what you want. So anything you want to add to that, Lynette?
Yes, from the beginning, we already knew what we wanted. And, everyone had their ideas and their input. And, we took those things into consideration. But, at the end of it, we end up having a really nice wedding. The wedding that we both wanted to have. Mm-hmm. Because, we're the one that had to be in the wedding, So it was really important during that time that we communicated with each other, and when family was involved, we just stayed connected.
Yeah, and the main thing was organization. Make sure everything was intact. So when we had our wedding, it wasn't we had to think about this, think about that. We already had things set up, so when it came up, everything would flow nice. And so, moving on throughout our marriage after the wedding, we moved in together and we had to learn how to live together.
Yeah.
We had, clean up out of, things about cleaning up and all that stuff, trying to, make things work inside the house.
Yeah, but when we did move in together, to me it wasn't like awkward or weird or uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I just want to mention that because I don't know, it's like, how you can, move in with someone that you just married and it seems kind of awkward. You don't feel like it's your home yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, I felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
Doing some things around the house to make it feel like both of our homes.
Yeah.
It was really relaxing.
Yeah. I think the thing is, it's all about compromising. We first started, in the marriage. You're the wife, so I let you decorate things in the house the way you want it, especially the kitchen. Cause that's where you cook and stuff. And our parents also helped us out a lot as far as, upgrading the house and certain things that we needed in order to live, peacefully.
Yes.
And so we thank them for that, helping us out a lot with that. Mm-hmm. And you just, learning how to live together, learn how to balance things and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're learning each other's ways because one thing I would say is, before marriage, we still love, but I'm just saying, like, you so in love and everything, but when you move in with someone, you see other parts of them that you didn't experience before because you never lived with them. You connect on the weekends or to go out or something like that, and then you're going home. But then when you get married, you're going to the same place.
Yeah.
So it's like creating that balance of, okay, now we're together.
Yeah.
When, after we come from dinner or from the movies, we're going home together. See, that part was really exciting for us in the beginning because we wanted to be with each other. But then, you kind of want to have your own little space and do things.
Yeah, so, when you start your marriage, don't think that when you start your marriage, you're in the so-called marriage mindset where you think that, it's all happy, peaches and cream, everything. You still sometimes have that single mindset where you want to do your thing and your wife want to do their thing. So, even now sometimes, I get in a single mindset, but I try to, I gotta think about, I have a wife now, so we have to do things more together, be more communicative about things, especially, the things that can ruin a marriage is finances, sex, and other things. And it's a lot of things that breaks up marriages, but you just try to make it through, try to communicate, because you don't want to go, y'all both don't want to go to bed mad at each other, and then wake up, you're not talking to each other, and you leave, anything can happen, and you leave and you mad at each other, and you regret that for the rest of your life if something happened.
Right.
So you want to make sure when you go to bed that y'all communicate, and so when y'all wake up, y'all be on the same page. Y'all might still be kind of mad at each other, but at least y'all talked it out.
Right. I also want to say that within our marriage, there are a lot of things that we learn spiritually in the Bible, going into the Word. It helped us know our place individually as men and a woman concerning the Bible, so that helped us out a lot. Some females don't like the word submissive, because they take it in a negative way, but honestly it's not, because for me, if you love your husband and you like your husband, it's gonna be easy for you to submit. Now, not saying he's gonna be, mean and all that stuff. That's not it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you just gotta think about the word. We are really Bible based. We try to follow words. Not saying we're not perfect. Not saying we're perfect. But we try to follow the word as far as being married, and try to stay committed to each other, because a lot of people these days, they take marriage for granted. It's like this day and time, marriage is like being girlfriend, boyfriend.
Right.
Most marriages, they don't take it serious and they don't last like even over a year. So we try to keep our marriage Bible based and follow the word, in different, as you grow in the word, you become more wise on what you say to your spouse, and what you do. Right.
And one thing I want to mention again, when it goes back to being submissive, Ephesians 5:21 says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. So when, a wife submit themselves to their husband, it's because of they're doing it within the fear of God, and vice versa, because that's what that verse says. And then you can go down to verse 22 and 23. When it talks about the wives, submit yourself unto your husband, and then the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Those things like that. So it's just a order about this thing. It's an order about marriage, and as long as you keep the order, your life will be easier in a marriage.
I think the other thing about marriage these days, that the roles has been switched. The wife is doing what the husband should do, and the husband is doing what the wife should do. And so when that's out of order, the Bible talks about doing things in decency and in order. I think it was in Corinthians, 1st or 2nd, but it talks about doing things in decency and in order. So, the husband is mainly, like provider, provide for the family. The husband and the wife, takes care of the house and stuff. But in these days and times, things, the economy. So the wife, have to work too in order to make ends meet. So, things have switched, but still the role of the husband and wife is still the same.
Right.
That the husband is the head of the household. Sometimes marriages mess up when the wife, kind of steps out of that order and tries to be boss, or they talk to the outside, especially coming with the church community. The wives, they listen to the pastor more than their husband.
Right.
And they see that the marriage is kind of messing up because they step out on who's the head of them. Right. And they think that the pastor, or they say, oh, my pastor told me this, my pastor told me that. Because some pastors, they kind of, treacherous, and they say things that can ruin people's marriages. They say, oh, you should leave him and all this stuff. But you have to listen to the word of God and do what the word of God says, because when you take your vows, you say that, let no man put asunder, that no man would, or woman can come between your marriage. That goes with, when you hear marriages, people going out on each other, cheating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And something you mentioned about, how a lot of women or wives will go to the pastor over their husbands when it comes to certain things. In Ephesians 5, and let's see, this is verse 24. It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husband in everything. So if you have a concern or anything like that, you do go to your husband. And if you find that you guys are having a hard time agreeing on something, you guys have to go together to the pastor, not separate, because everything you do should be together as one. Because once you start going to this person and that person without your husband, then it's a separation and a division amongst you two.
And also, you have to balance outside activities with, spending time with each other as husband and wife. It's kind of set aside day where y'all can go out, and have fun, because you don't want to just be all business and not have that time to spend together, relaxing and going out, maybe to the beach, during the summer or spring, or, just doing fun things. Because me and Lynette, we do a lot of things at church, and sometimes we have to find a balance. We might have to say, oh, we can't do that today. We, stay home, relax, and take care of things around the house. So you have to make home first. Before, church and stuff like that, sometimes you have to make priorities. So you can, make your marriage work even better. So it's all about balance.
Right, because you can get overwhelmed with a lot of things that people request from you. And, in the beginning of our marriage, after, our honeymoon and stuff, we had a lot of things that were kind of not thrown at us, but a lot of things that were requested of us, and we were still in the honeymoon phase. So it was like we ain't really had the time to, what you call it? We wanted to spend more time together in that stage of our marriage.
Have time to figure us out as husband and wife.
Those things are important because you're going to be doing so many things for other people. And then when you get home, you may still be doing some work, and you guys get to see each other when you're looking at TV or going to bed or something like that, or eating dinner. But you want to do more than just be at home together all the time. That's basically the things, that we've experienced. Our first year of marriage, not saying that we're perfect, but we still learning about certain things. Also, another thing about being indecisive about decisions in the household. I've had some moments where Lynette was, disagree with me about things because, I was being indecisive. I said, we do this. She said, I thought we were going to do this. And then I changed my mind about stuff. So husbands really learn about being indecisive about things. If you say something, stick by it. Don't keep changing up, switching. And that laughed because that happened. But it's just, you're still learning. We all make mistakes as husband and wife. But that's not a thing to just say, we just gonna sign papers for divorce and stuff like that. For what? We work better together, Right.
God put you together, and, instead of let no man put asunder,
Right.
Let no outside people, family try to just, mess up your marriage.
Right. Because believe it or not, there are people that they don't believe in this type of connection and husband and wife as a marriage. So if I say something like, I have to see if that's okay with my husband, they will literally get mad about that. And say stuff like, see, this is why I don't have no man. I mean,
that's why you don't have a man.
That's just so funny to me because if you love and respect the person that you chose to marry, why wouldn't you want to communicate with that person? So that's I just don't get that. You guys can leave comments or anything of why you think some people react that way. Because I just want to know.
So just if you have any comments about our podcast, about our first year marriage, or if you want any advice or any questions on how we got over different situations. I know, in our first year of marriage, we couldn't really. So our second year of marriage was kind of like our first year because we still, first year, had to deal with a lot of family things, getting them to realize that we're married now and we have to, figure out things for ourselves on how we, work out together as husband and wife. So, just a lot of dealing with family. So, usually, your first year, you go through a lot of stuff, between husband and wife, really trying to figure out how to live together. But for us, it was really like our second year. We really had a lot of, back and forth between each other, trying to situate ourselves, between each other. Because first year, we were so focused on our family, things happening in our family and stuff like that. So.
Right. And it was something else that I wanted to say. Oh, so when I think about, a marriage, because everybody don't look at a marriage the same, but when I think about a marriage, I think about an empire. I think about a new generation of possibilities.
Yeah.
Being together, building an empire, building something that no one has ever seen before.
Yeah.
Being different in that way. And I don't think people look at marriages that way or value it in such a way where you can come together, build something so great that no one can tear apart.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid of it.
I guess some people say you shouldn't mix business with family and stuff like that, but marriage is kind of different because y'all, when the Bible says that when you become married, you become one flesh, excuse me. So when you get married, y'all should be thinking as one, not as separate. So when it comes to business, it shouldn't be a problem, It should be y'all working together, for your future generation, your kids. You want them to have a good future. You want them to have enough money to go through college. So, whenever we have kids,
Whenever we have kids.
Whenever, we have kids, we want to, save up for their college. So in marriage, another thing, you have to really think ahead. You can't just think about now.
Right.
You have to always get on the net about saving money, about stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, but, so that's basically things that we want to talk about on this podcast. We're looking forward to having many more of these discussions.
Okay.
And
it's a little insider, while we're laughing. Okay.
But we're looking forward to having more of these conversations, and we thank you for listening to our podcast. All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
All right.